Hello, everyone. I am drunk, just so everyone is aware, just so we're on the same page. I am drunk because I have been drinking on airplanes for the last 6 fucking hours. Joshua, how are you?
I am stone cold sober. Sadly.
God damn it. Why? Why would you
Well,
be stone cold sober?
It's LA. It's still a little bit early here, and even if it wasn't, it's a school day. It's a school night tomorrow, so.
It's a school night for me, too. You want to know why it's a school night for me?
Why?
Because I have to get up at the ass crack of dawn because Trump is doing a rally at the Ellipse at the White House, which is like not that far away from my hotel, and I have to be there at 7 a.m. for when the doors open.
Okay. All right. Well, you get to sleep straight away after this.
Well, I don't know that that's going to happen, but I'm wearing, people are commenting on my hat. I'm wearing a hat. It is not, it is nice. I like this hat. I knitted this hat. I knitted this hat in 2 days.
That's amazing. That's really fast. Yeah.
Oh, it's not very much knitting. I mean, it's got some fuzzy yarn in it, and I like the gold quite a bit. But I knitted this hat.
Crown. The maroon looks like it's a crown shape. Is that, you know what I mean? It looks like a crown.
Should I wear it like this? Should I wear it more proper, like a crown?
I think however you would. No, I liked it before. I like it.
You liked it like that? Well, I knitted this hat because I knew I was going to be outside all day tomorrow, and I wasn't sure what the temperature was going to be like in DC, so I knitted myself a hat to wear.
I think that's great. It's so I don't know how it always comes out perfect
because I'm a really good knitter.
You're a really good knitter. Yeah.
I knitted you a hat one time.
I did. I still have it. I haven't gotten to wear it because I haven't been able to fly to any place where I can actually wear a hat. You know what I mean? It's kind of silly to do it in LA when lowest it gets is like, I mean, our mornings are, but I'm always in a hoodie in the morning.
Wow. So Joshua, I got to DC. Okay. I got to my hotel.
Okay.
And you know what? One of the first things I saw at my hotel was I am like right down in DC, and so I'm standing outside with the hotel, and what's going on in my hotel, and I don't know if this is like true of other hotels, but people are just like Trump people are like just hanging out in front of the hotel, like drinking and like whatever, and the police, there's a whole metric F ton of police in front of my hotel, and they're literally not letting people check into the hotel. They're not letting people like unload their bags and check into the hotel.
That's strange. Why?
It is. Because they're being police. I have no effing idea. Like, the police in DC are not our friends. They're not friends of Trump supporters. I'm going to tell you right now. They're absolutely not.
Well, Trump put out this tweet about what's going on in Washington. He like called for everybody.
Yes, he's called for everybody multiple times. So we're going to see. I'm really excited. I like, we need to do some psychiatry around what's going to happen tomorrow, because I kind of feel like Trump would not be summoning all of his minions to Washington, D.C. if he didn't have some sort of plan for what's going to go on tomorrow with Congress certifying the Electoral College votes.
Okay. So what are we looking at, though? When you say what's going on tomorrow, that's general. Can we zone in on what you mean?
So tomorrow, that Congress is supposed... Fuck you, Joshua. I told you I was drunk, goddammit. This is not a secret. Hang on. Okay. So I see we have some super chats coming in. We're going to deal with the super chats in a second. Okay, I'm focused. Okay, we're going to do this question. So what is going on tomorrow is Congress is supposed to certify the votes from the Electoral College. But a whole metric F ton of Congress people, I can't say congressmen because that's a gendered term and we're not allowed to use gendered terms anymore.
You're going to trigger someone and you're going to get sued.
I'm going to get sued. Okay, and I'm going to get kicked off YouTube, so we can't use gendered terms. So Congress people, representatives, a whole metric F ton of them are going to be objecting to the certification, and a whole metric F ton of senators are going to be objecting to the certification. So we don't really know what's going to happen tomorrow insofar as all of the electoral votes are concerned. And also, Trump is speaking at a rally at in the Ellipse, which is right next to the White House, at 11 a.m. I'm going to be there, and he's going to do whatever Trump does. And Mike Pence is going to be presiding over the proceedings to certify the votes, and we don't really know what he's going to do. There are rumors about what he might do. So I don't know. We need some psychic guidance on what is going to happen tomorrow, Joshua.
In regard to like what Trump's going to talk about and all of that.
Well, in regards to what is going to happen with the goddamn electoral votes. Oh,
okay. So you want to know whether or not it's going to be overturned, so to speak?
Look, this guy says you have your hands full tonight.
You are telling me. Yeah, I know.
I had no preparation for this at all. Joshua looks proper, and I showed up fucking sloshed.
Joshua is always proper, except when he's white trash, which is 9 days out of the week. So let's see. What's going to happen with the what is it?
So you're drunk too. What is going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow?
So that means, though, that essentially right now we could find out whether or not it's going to get overturned and Trump's going to be the winner?
I mean, potentially, but also they could just prolong this process for another however many weeks, and Pence could potentially postpone it. People are talking about that. Pence could. Some people are talking about Pence wheeling in a Dominion voting machine and potentially running the electoral college votes through the Dominion voting machine and having it say that Trump won. Like, who knows? We literally don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And anyone who says they do know what's going to happen tomorrow is a liar.
Okay, so you're going to have to piece this again together with me because I don't understand it. But we're going to ask what's going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow, right?
Yes.
And just say that for me.
What is going to happen with the electoral college votes tomorrow?
And tell me when I should stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Very well. Let's see. Balance, the star, and 10 of swords. What
does it mean, Joshua? What does it mean?
So the balance card, something's going to be made right. There's going to be a balance or a decision that's made. Okay, but wait. We got to look at all the cards. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. With the balance card, something will be made right. There is going to be some kind of unexpected surprise with the star card.
An unexpected surprise. Excellent.
But then we have the 10 of swords.
Why?
I don't know why. But the 10 of swords is the end of a problem when it cannot get much worse.
What the fuck does that mean?
I feel 10 of swords, it's case is closed, I think. However, your adjustment card and the star card, I would be prepared for something to be made right and something coming to awareness. There's going to be some kind of surprise, what happened? Yeah. And then it will be, with 10 of swords. That's the weird thing with this. It's almost a matter of, I think it might be a matter of they figure something out, but with 10 of swords, it's almost 10 of swords is really bottoming out. Do you really need 10 swords in your back? It's sort of like an overkill card. So almost what can we do? Do you know what I mean? So there's going to be some kind of balancing act. Something will be made right. There'll be some adjustment. There's going to be some kind of surprise that brings you to truth. And it's whoa, who knew? But then with 10 of swords, it's wah, wah.
God damn it, Joshua. That was not the ending that I wanted to that.
Well, you told me when to stop, so this is all on you.
Wow. So that actually makes sense, though. I mean, the first two cards. We're going to ignore the last card for a second because I don't like it. And so we're going to just pretend you didn't pull that card for a minute. So that actually makes sense, though, because what's going to happen tomorrow is the electoral college votes are going to be presented or whatever. And then the Congress people are going to object and the senators are going to object. And then they're going to go into 2 hours of debate where basically they get to present the case about election fraud. That's what's going to happen tomorrow. And we don't know what they're going to present.
Yeah, well, I mean, it looks very, very positive. If you're looking for a turnover, this is really good. And the star card is really good. But with 10 of swords, it's sort of it's an end of a problem. It's it's reaching that climactic point of everything gets pulled to a head. I think that there will be closure with 10 of swords.
Can we get more insight into what that closure is going to be?
Yeah, let's see. if I'm right, that there will be closure. If there's closure,
because Amanda says your interpretation is inaccurate.
Ooh, is it Amanda? Okay.
Which I know you really appreciate when people question your psychic tree.
So how do we phrase it?
Amanda says, I like Amanda better. Amanda says, Star card is Aquarius energy that can bring a revolution if people rise up into their power, Joshua.
Okay, I agree with that. I think that the Ten of Swords, I don't think the Ten of Swords bodes well, though, for what we're after. I hope I'm wrong, you know? I hope I'm wrong. But let's see, what was the thing that we're looking at? Like, what's the next thing, essentially?
I want more clarification on what is going to happen after the case of election fraud is presented.
Okay. What's going to happen after the case of election fraud is presented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Okay. Nine of Discs, the completion card, and swiftness. So, you know, this is good. This is reaching a climactic point. Venus is in Virgo, so there's good things here. With the completion card, again, there's going to be some form of completion that happens. Like there's going to be something that's like settled, and further emphasizing that is swiftness. So again, I think there'll be some kind of conclusion. I think that for whatever reason, so essentially this is about, just so I understand it better, like the results could be overturned and it's almost like, oh, okay, Trump becomes president. Is that what we're going for
I
here?
mean, it could potentially be that, yes.
Well, let's just go there and like figure that out, because these
Joshua,
are very...
Brandon says you don't like me when I'm drunk.
Oh, no, that's not true.
Hmm.
I like Carlin drunk. I always like Carlin. I like high Carlin. I like drunk Carlin. But let's see. Let's just go to the end. You know, will the votes be overturned? Because there's all of this like nonsense of like all this positive energy, but then again, we get like Ten of Swords, we get swiftness. So
let's go to the end.
Go to the end. Will things be overturned and will Trump get nominated? Is that it? Or not nominated? Will Trump win the election? Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So will Trump, say this for me, please. Will Trump win the election?
Will Trump win the election?
And so I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Knight of Cups, Prince of Discs, Nine of Swords. I mean, this isn't a slam dunk, so it could be prolonged further. Yeah, I think that with the Knight of Cups, this could be prolonged, and they might not even have an answer, and they could conceivably stall the inauguration, right?
Yes, that is a possibility. Absolutely.
That's very probable. Because the thing is, we got Knight of Cups, right? What's wrong?
Okay, I would just take that as a win, to be honest. Like, if they stall the inauguration, I would take that as a fucking win.
Okay. Yeah, well, I mean, the star card's very, very positive about that. But with the Knight of Cups, this is almost like, it's sort of like things are emotionally ideal. So there's going to be somebody that talks, I don't know who, that's really very much like, you know, mountains are made of cream and chocolate cake. Very, very, very idealistic. And then there's going to be something with the Prince of Discs that's much more pedantic and much more like grounded. Like, this is what we're dealing with, folks. And then with Nine of Swords, there's a lot of like mental stuff. So, yeah, I think that you're going to hear like there's hope, but then there's going to be somebody that winds up saying, yeah, but we're not quite there yet. Do you know what I mean?
Yes. Tommy says I'm 2 shots away from table dancing.
She is, or you are, Tommy?
who knows? Keep going.
Yeah. But I think with Nine of Swords, yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I know that there's going to be something that comes up that's going to be pleasing to some people.
Excellent.
I think that's going to be the case. But again, it's so the energy for me, it's sort of like that basketball is like flirting with that rim, but it's not going in. You know what I'm saying?
Can we look at if the Trump supporters in DC are going to be happy with tomorrow's outcome?
Yeah, thank you. That's super helpful.
See, I can be helpful when I'm drunk too, Joshua.
You're always helpful, Carlin. You're always helpful, drunk or high, and always. Let's
goddamn right.
Phrase the question for me again.
Will the Trump supporters that are descending onto Washington, D.C.
Oh, hold on. Can we change that to how will the majority of Trump supporters feel after blah, 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 blah? Does that make sense?
How will the majority of Trump supporters feel about...
Excuse me.
God damn it, Joshua. Focus.
From the top. 5, 6, 7, 8.
How will the majority of Trump supporters feel with tomorrow's outcome?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Interference, Knight of Discs, and Prudence. So I think their minds are going to be a little bit like, wait, no, this is not that card. This is Eight of Swords. We got the Five of Swords throughout the whole election when they were, something was wrong in Denmark. But the interference card is in the Rider deck. It's the woman who's like tied up and her hands are like tied behind her back. And
oh, okay, I know that card. Okay.
The thing is that she can untie herself, but this is when like, when we get on like a tear with something, like say something happens and like, I don't know, I don't know, you got a flat tire. Then all of a sudden you have a flat tire. You're like, now I'm not going to make it. And now I'm going to be late and everybody's going to hate. And then you just go on this like tear and everything's like against you. And really it was just a flat tire. So the Trump supporters need to like get their head and not overthink things. Then with the Knight of Discs, I think that they'll be stable, a little bit more, grounded. They're not jumping up and down, but then prudent. So I think that there's more. They're going to be feeling as if they need to be, careful and cautious. But I do think that with this card, Carlin, things are coming along nicely. This is sort of like the garden is growing a little bit. You know what I mean? It's not, it's not 100% there. And there are still patches of soil that are messed up. But I think that they're going to be taking a wait and see approach. That's the big thing that I get.
Fan-effing-tastic. I just want this shit show to go on as long as humanly possible. I think I have reached the phase of my red pill journey where I'm just like, I just want chaos. I want people to not know what the F is going on. I want as much chaos as humanly possible. That would be my preference in this scenario.
Okay. Yeah. I think in the beginning there's going to be some kind of like just mental spiral, but then I think that they're going to get, grounded. I think it's sort of like work needs to be done. Like there's no more work that needs to be done. And there's probably going to be something that he's going to ask people to do.
All right. Excellent. Well, we're going to find more information about that in a second. And I see your super chats coming in along this topic. But Ken, who is one of my favorite people because he says I look thinner in person, Joshua. Ken wants to know, what is Carlin drunk off of? I am drunk off of, what's that? No! You are such a dirty liar. No, I am drunk off of champagne and on occasion orange juice that I had many of on my first class upgrades on my flights to DC.
That's really good.
See, that's what I'm saying. Like I don't see any problem with this.
Like if one day I want to do like almost like an essay of like what's the difference between like a beer buzz and a champagne buzz, because they're all very. Yeah, I think that's a really good idea. Yeah.
I think that's a very good idea.
They're all very different, but you have to have like a week of alcoholism. So you do it on Monday, and then you get sober. It's almost like the perfumes. You have to smell like coffee, and then do you know what I mean?
Can I work on this project with you? Can we do this together, Joshua? Can we get drunk together?
Yeah.
On many different things.
we did in Boston, if you remember. That was really, really fun.
We did.
Really fun. Good thing I was drinking because it was so cold. And you were wearing a freaking shawl.
I was not wearing a shawl. I was wearing my Marled Magic sweater, which I'm now knitting another version of for Adam Quiggler. It was very warm and comfortable. It was full of merino wool, Joshua. I was fine. You were more cold than me.
I was freezing to death. Yeah, it was cold.
It was. Yeah. All right, guys. What was that?
Your blood thins. Like you lose your tolerance of the cold when you move away. Do you know what I mean?
Well, you live in Los Angeles. I live in New Hampshire. We have different expectations.
Yes, that is true. That is true.
All right, guys, let's get into some of your super chats because I do see that you've been sending them in, and we got a lot of questions to take care of tonight. Now, one of the questions, the first one I want to start off with is actually, I think I saw Cyrus sent it in. Cyrus Cherry says, will the Republicans keep the Senate majority? Because you know what today is, Joshua? Today is a very important day. Because today is the runoff election in Georgia, where there are 2 Senate seats up for grabs. And basically, if the Republicans lose these Senate seats, we are fucked.
Oh, okay.
So we want the Republicans to win one and or both of these Senate seats to maintain the majority in the Senate. Can we psychic if that is going to occur?
Yeah, so when is the vote?
Today.
Okay, so the question will be, will 1 or 2 of the Republicans win a Senate seat? Is that correct?
Yes.
And will you phrase it for me?
Will 1 or 2 of the Republicans...
Wait. From the top.
God damn it.
Okay.
Will 1 or 2 of the Republicans win their Senate seat in Georgia?
And say when to stop shuffling.
Stop. Yes. 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 Joshua.
I'm going to say yes. And I'll tell you why, and that I was like deliberating. We have Prince of Wands, so whoever, like, this is like this Randy guy. He's like confident, big, gusto. It's very like Leo energy, right? Then you have the futility card, which is not necessarily the futility card. The 7 of Swords is actually a victory card, but it's victory by like dubious means. Do you know what I mean? So it's almost like it could be like a pirate victory. It's definitely a card that things are not on the up and up. Do you know what I mean? It's called futility. So there might be some stuff that's going on that's just not kosher. That's not honorable or honest. And then you have the World card.
Wait. Are you saying there's fucking voter fraud again? Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. But I don't.
God damn it.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, with the futility
card. Funny though, because earlier today they started announcing, they were like, well, we may not know the results for several days. And we all know what that means. It means they're pulling fucking shenanigans.
Yeah, that's the futility card. That's like, because they're gathering resources, but there's some fiery guy. So if there's some fiery guy that's up for it, he's like a fire sign, somebody who's,
Can someone in the chat look up the astrological sign of Asaf or Warnock, please? That would be really helpful.
Or anybody who he could be a fire sign, but it's somebody who's just very, very, very confident, very Donald Trump energy, because Donald Trump's a Leo rising, so it could be the rising sign, but somebody who's very like fiery and probably doesn't think much before he speaks.
Yeah. I don't know if that really describes either of the Republican candidates, which gives me pause. But we're gonna see if people. Oh fuck! Tracy says Warnock is a Leo.
Who?
Raphael Warnock is one of the Democratic candidates.
No.
And he basically like ran over his ex-wife with a car. And apparently that's okay if you're a Democrat.
Well, yeah. I mean, what was she doing in the other car?
Oh no. Oh man.
Don't run over your wife with a car. It's bad karma.
Well, okay, here's how I feel about this though. If the GOP loses one and or both of these seats, they're getting what they fucking deserve. Honestly, I think the GOP have been behaving like children ever since the election. It's really been driving me goddamn crazy, and I'm not going to feel bad for them if they lose. I'm really just not. I'm not. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Seven of Swords.
Melanie is saying that David Perdue, who is the Republican candidate, is a Sagittarius, Joshua.
That's good. What's his name?
David Perdue.
How do you spell it?
Perdue. Are you Googling him to see what he looks like?
I want to see what he looks like.
I can pull him up. Jesus.
Yeah, I think this guy's very fiery for an older gentleman.
You think so?
Yeah. He'd be a bastard. Yeah. Well, it looks like he's doing well. He's ahead 2 points or 2 percentages. He's
excellent.
John Ossoff, though, he's an Aquarius. He's young. The senator guy, I don't. They're all awful. They're all so horrible.
I know. I totally agree with you. This is like a lesser of two evils scenario, but it is what it is. And the Republicans really need to maintain the Senate, Joshua, because like if they don't, the Democrats are going to pack the effing courts, and that's not okay with me. Not okay with me at all. All right, so let's ask a follow-up question because Elizabeth just super chatted one in. Will Kelly Loeffler lose to Warnock? Raphael Warnock.
What will be the results for Kelly? Because it's an election, right? So what will be the election results for Kelly? And who's Kelly again?
Kelly is the person running against Raphael Warnock, I believe.
Okay. So who's the Kelly? What's the Kelly's first name?
Kelly's first name is Kelly.
Oh, Kelly, and what's his last name?
She.
Oh, sorry, she.
Kelly Loeffler, who is also a Sagittarius, according to Graphically Alex in the chat.
Loeffler? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
L-O. Okay.
Loeffler.
Okay, let me just see her. So you want to see if she's going to, like, what the results are going to be for her, right?
Yes.
Okay. And she's a Sag?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So do me a favor and say, what will the election results this year, because it's soon, right, be for Kelly?
Today, in fact.
Oh. What will the election results
Both of us are in marvelous form tonight.
Oh, let me clear my deck.
Oh, God.
Kelly looks like she's really fun. All right. What will be the election results for Kelly?
What will be the election results for Kelly?
How are you going to do, girl? How's Kelly going to do? And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Princess of Swords, Prince of Swords, the Empress. So yeah, we got the Princess of Swords, which isn't usually the best news, to be honest. Then you get Prince of Swords, things are up in the air, but you end with the Empress. So I feel that there'll be something else for her. You know what I mean? But I can't say that she's definitely going to win. Like, there's just too much intellectual stuff, you know? Like, things are going to be good for her. Things are going to end in a really, really positive note, but I'm not completely sure it's this election. Just with the Princess of Swords is not good news. She doesn't bring the best news. Could this be
God damn it. What's that?
Could this also be delayed? This one?
No.
This is okay.
Well, it could. I mean, we don't know when we're going to know the results necessarily, but if it's delayed, it's because they're pulling shenanigans. I'm going to bet.
Yeah, it's unclear right now.
All right.
But she's gonna be fine.
Well, I'm not necessarily worried so much about her personally as I am about like whether or not the court is going to be packed. But okay.
So is it either her or the Sagittarius dude?
No. Well, so no, they're both Sagittarius. David Perdue and Kelly Loeffler are both Republican. So John Ossoff, I don't know what he is.
He's Aquarius.
Oh, Aquarius. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess we'll see.
But you want Kelly and or the other dude, the other Sagittarian to win.
I would ideally like both of them.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
You're like, no, you're not going to get what you want this time.
Yeah, it's just really interesting. Let me just see one more thing.
Okay.
Will either one of them win? Will either one of them win? Tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will either one of them win? I apologize to everybody that these answers not clear. Trust me, this upsets me even more than it upsets you guys or is frustrating for you. Like, I want clear answers just as much as you guys do. Balance, happiness. One of them is going to win. That's my final. Okay.
Yay. Yeah. One of them or at least one of them?
One of them. I can say at least one of them will win.
Yay. Okay. Well, we'll take that. We'll take that for right now. Okay. Let's get into some other super chats because we've got a whole bunch to go through. Mom E wants to know, will Carla's eyes be too blurry to read the chats? No, I can read just fine. Thank you. God damn it. Quantum Football asks, will anyone who had a government job the last 4 years ever be able to be hired again? I'm scared that the 2020 census is going to be my last job. Joshua.
I mean, so what's the question? Like, he thinks that he's going to get railroaded because he voted Democrat?
Because they worked for like the government under Trump.
Oh, okay. So he's wondering if there's going to be employment issues because of his previous employment.
Yeah, well, for anyone that worked in the government for the past 4 years.
Is this meaning in terms of getting another government job?
I think in terms of getting another job, period.
Okay. Let me clear the deck. That's a good question. And do me a favor and just say some of what he said, what he wrote.
Will anyone who had a government job the last 4 years ever be able to be hired again?
And so I'm going to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Okay. Queen of Swords, Ten of Cups, Judgment. Absolutely. Yeah, I don't think it's going to be an issue. Again, like, don't throw trash on your trail. Like, don't think that way. There are so many more people who are Republican that are admitting it. So just remember that. It's a silent majority in a lot of ways.
Exactly. Well, Cindy wants to know, why did Josh roll his eyes when he said he's an Aquarius? I'm an Aquarius. Should I be offended? Joshua is also an Aquarius.
I know. I'm an Aquarius.
His birthday is coming up.
No, I don't have a birthday.
You do have a birthday.
I'm so sorry. I don't remember rolling my eyes. I like Aquarians. I like you. I like me. Yeah. I sometimes roll my eyes and it means absolutely nothing.
He's rolling his eyes at me because I'm drunk. That's what he's doing. He's rolling his eyes at me.
Yeah.
I'm used to Joshua's judgment.
Aquarians are great. They're wonderful people. I mean, I'm one. So clearly. And so are you! Whoever that was. Yeah.
All right. Water Girl says, is Lin Wood telling the truth, losing his mind, or does he have other motivations? So Joshua, Lin Wood is basically like one of the top defamation lawyers in the country. And he has been basically losing his shit on Twitter for the past several weeks. But it's gotten really bad lately. Like he's like going like nuts on Twitter. So
Lin Wood?
Lin Wood, yes.
How do you spell his name?
Lin.
Wood.
Lin Wood. Yeah. He defended Richard Jewell, who was the guy that was accused of bombing the Atlanta Olympics. He defended the Covington kids, and he won a settlement for them. But he's going effing nuts. Like, it's ridiculous. He's actually, like, beyond the pale.
Oh, my God. Okay. So what do we want to look at with this dude?
Is Lin Wood crazy?
I mean, I can look at his Twitter profile and tell you that. I'm just kidding. Let's see. You really want to ask that? Is he nuts?
Okay, what is Lin Wood's motivation for tweeting out insanity? I think is the question.
Let me see.
He said Jeffrey Epstein was alive, Joshua. He said that Mike Pence was going to go in front of a firing squad.
Okay, so what's his motivation for sending out strange, crazy tweets, right?
Yes.
And just say that for me again.
What is Lin Wood's motivation for sending out insane, crazy tweets?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
So with the Hierophant, he sees himself as a leader. He really feels like he's doing the right thing. Like he's very, very, in his mind, he's doing the right thing. He's being honorable. He's being very Taurus-like. And with the Empress, whatever's inside of the Empress has to come out. So if he's thinking something, he just does it. And then with 10 of Cups, there's an emotional aspect to his personality. So like if we ran his chart, which you can do at some point if you want, you'll probably see at least a transit or some aspect that makes him like overly emotional. So it like over bubbles. And he doesn't, he's not, I don't think he's being, I don't think that he's being dishonest. I think that he thinks that he's doing the right thing, and whatever's inside of him has to come out, and he's overly emotional. So put that all together and you get a crazy tweet.
So essentially he means well.
Very much so. It breaks his heart.
I just feel like someone needs to take away his phone. I feel like someone needs to have an intervention with Lin Wood. I honestly feel bad. Like, it's
okay. I'm seeing his picture now. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. He's a highly emotional man for somebody who's a lawyer. I mean, lawyers are typically disimpassioned.
Wow. I've got a story to tell you after we go off air. I'm not telling it on air, but remind me when we go off air.
Okay.
About Lin Wood. And you guys in the chat, you don't get to know the story unless you just send in a really big super chat, and then we'll see. No, I'm just kidding. Don't do that. I'm not going to tell the story on air. Okay, so let's see. Jamie Armstrong says, will California secede from the Union? That's a good question, Joshua. You live in California. This is relevant to your interests.
What does that mean? Does that mean like
Will California leave the United States?
Don't we always talk about this? Don't we ask this like every week or no?
No, we've never asked this before.
We haven't?
No.
I'm sorry. I was in another parallel reality. I'm sorry, questioner. I sometimes switch timelines and I don't remember, so my apologies. Repeat the question. Will California break from the Union? Right?
Yes.
And tell me when to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Tower, the Empress. I'm like, what a stupid question.
Apparently not.
Apparently not. So egg on my face. I mean, the Tower card comes up. It's really fascinating. That's like a breaking down, and it makes sense with this conjunction between Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, right? So the Tower card is the breaking down of structures, and then the Empress, again, the Empress keeps coming up. But something new is going to be born, and so it's very possible. Actually.
I fucking love this timeline. This is like the most insane timeline that has ever existed anywhere ever.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. Yeah. I wonder what's going to come out of the bag tomorrow. You've got to text me and let me know, because I'm not paying attention to it.
I might not even be able to, because there's not really going to be service in Washington, D.C. tomorrow. You might actually have better access than I do, like, tomorrow. I don't know. I don't know if there's going to be screens somewhere where I can watch it, or like what the F is going to go on, but I will let you know.
Some surprise. Surprise!
I just love it. Like, Jack Posobiec was tweeting the other day. He was like, Trump is like pissed about something, and Trump is thinking about declassifying all information related to aliens and JFK and firing everyone. And I was like, do it, Trump. Do it. Burn the fucking house down. Do it. That would be the question, Joshua. Is Trump going to declassify aliens? This is the important information I want to know.
And I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Will Trump declassify aliens? Disappointment, the Magician.
God damn it.
3 of discs. So the thing is, he has to roll this out very carefully. So there's disappointment at first, right? But then we have the Magician. So the Magician works with all 4 elements, and like, you have to be careful. So he's going to get things in motion for that, and he's going to be working with a team in order to make that plausible, but it's not going to be straight away, and he can't do it all on his own. This is going to take a lot of planning and foresight and teamwork. It's not something that can be, I mean,
Trump might only have like 2 more weeks left in office. How much planning could he do?
Oh, because he has to declassify. Well, I mean, it's like for the future. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think he would do it while he's in office. I mean, unless he really works fast, because there's disappointment up ahead. But I think that he could still, like, couldn't he, when he's not president, still like blow the whistle on things, or no?
I suppose in theory he could just talk about it. Who knows? But Trump did create Space Force. You know, he created an entirely new branch of the military to deal with space. So I think that says something. That's all I'm saying. I think Sasha the book lover says I should always be drunk every show. Joshua, we should do a special edition where we're both high.
That's very dangerous.
Nothing could go wrong with that plan, Joshua. Nothing.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm very, very psychic when I'm high, but isn't everybody?
He is very psychic when he's high. It's true. All right. Let me look back at our super chats. Let's see. Armani asked, will the Republicans maintain the Senate majority? We've kind of already answered that, Armani. We think that they will maintain the Senate majority. Let's see. Elizabeth says, I asked my tarot cards if Trump will get a 4th term, and I got the Tower, Death, and 10 of Swords. I'm not sure that's good. Well,
yeah,
a 4th term would be something else.
That's usually like a physical death, really. I'm not predicting, I mean, with those cards together, the Tower, 10 of Swords, and Death. 10 of Swords and Death, because like you're always supposed to never predict disease, death, or divorce when you're reading tarot, but people die, right? I don't think that he will necessarily, because the thing is that her cards are going to be working for her differently than my cards. Do you know what I mean?
I do. I'm laughing. I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing because Multi-Drider asks, will there be a restaurant franchise war happening alongside Civil War with Taco Bell becoming the only restaurant left?
With Taco Bell becoming what?
The only restaurant left.
Oh, I mean,
that's out of Demolition Man, Joshua. That's out of Demolition Man.
Oh,
which is one of the greatest movies ever made. You've seen Demolition Man. Tell me you've seen Demolition Man.
I don't think so.
Joshua, here's what needs to happen. I'm going to come to Los Angeles. and we're gonna get high and have movie night and watch Demolition Man.
Okay, I gotta get the synopsis of it. It might not be my kind of movie.
It is your kind of movie. It's everyone's kind of movie. You need to watch Demolition Man, Joshua. This is not up for debate. You are watching fucking Demolition Man. Look. You have to see it. Obviously.
It's like a Star Wars thing.
It is a great movie, says Katie. Learn the 3 seashells, Joshua.
Okay.
This is like when I find out Victor hasn't watched a movie that he damn well should have watched as a child, and I have to force him to watch it.
Well, he wasn't brought up in the States, so there's a lot of
Do you know what movie I found out Victor hasn't seen?
What?
PCU. Do you remember PCU?
Oh, I haven't seen PCU. No.
Joshua!
PCU? I don't think so.
Oh my god. We're gonna have a whole fucking movie fucking weekend. Okay, but we can't talk about that right now because we only have 14 minutes left. We have a bunch of super chats. I'm gonna be responsible.
Jeremy Piven. Oh. Anyway.
What's wrong with Jeremy Piven? What do you have?
No comment.
Oh, you have a story. Okay, well, you're going to tell me that story off air.
I do have a story. Let's just say he's not very charming. That's all I'll say about that. Next!
All right.
He's just as much of a... Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Jay Russ wants to know, do you think the reading for tomorrow could mean martial law? Keep hearing talk of that. Do you think martial law could be declared, Joshua?
What is martial law?
Like the military runs the show. Martial law.
Okay. So that would be, you mean like in terms of the presidency? Will it turn into martial law? Or are we talking
will martial law be declared? Will the military have to be come out and take care of shit? I don't know.
Okay. Will martial law be declared tomorrow?
Sure.
Okay. And just say that for me.
Will martial law be declared tomorrow?
Will martial law be declared tomorrow? Will martial law be declared tomorrow? I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Let's see. Ace of Cups, Princess of Cups. This ain't martial law. No.
Excellent. That's good news. We don't want martial law to be declared. That would be bad.
Bad martial law.
Bad.
Bad.
All right.
Bad.
Let me see. Okay, so Cold Summer wants to know, what will the rest of the 2020s be like? A nice aspirational question, Joshua, about the next 10 years of our life, or 9 years, I suppose.
Okay, so just big old
overview
for the next 10 years.
What are we in for?
Okay. And
you're like, fuck you.
Well, what do we get? I mean, that's a very broad question. What will the rest of the world, what will the next 10 years be like? Okay, just do me a favor and say that for me.
What will the next 10 years be like?
I'm going to stop shuffling.
Stop.
What will the next 10 years be like? Okay. This is really interesting. So Knight of Swords epitomizes goal-oriented activity. It's about being very, very, very focused, very, very driven, which makes sense with Saturn and Jupiter in Aquarius, which is an air sign, and very mental, very focused. Then you have Knight of Cups, which is about emotional ideals. So again, being very, very focused on those emotional ideals, like what's the best case scenario, what's going to make you really, really, really happy. And then finally, with Princess of Wands, people are going to just be feeling the fear and doing it anyway. Like people are just going to be doing their own thing. People are going to be more impatient. So essentially, we're talking about goal-oriented activity. We're talking about emotional highs, like definitely. There's going to be people are really going to be going after their emotional ideals. And with Princess of Wands, they're not going to suffer fools gladly. They're going to be pretty impatient and probably just take the bull by the horns, do what they need to do, and liberate. That's a key word for Princess of Wands, is liberation.
Liberation. You hear that, everyone? Liberate, goddammit.
Yeah.
All right. I'm listening says we should do a movie stream chat. We can all watch together.
I think that's a super good idea. Well, ask them we should kind of do it soon, because my favorite Christmas movie, Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think that you need to see that. Now,
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you have to see that. Okay, so the listener, whoever that was on there, would they watch Silent Night, Deadly Night, or is that something that they wouldn't like?
Okay, would anyone watch Silent Night, Deadly Night? Chat in if you're on board with that. And in the meantime, Watery Tart says I should spin in the chair. I'm not going to spin in the chair. I'd fall off the chair. And that would not be good for anyone. There was one more super chat I wanted to point out. Katie asked, will Trump classify UFOs in confirmation of aliens? It looks like he might. We actually just pulled down this one like a couple minutes ago. It looks like he might. We'll see. We'll see. Okay. Yes, people say that Elizabeth says she likes that movie. Brandon says yes. Ruan says yes.
Wow.
Dragonwater says no.
Oh, okay. All right.
Amber says yes. Yeah, okay. No, Jordan. So we got some yeses, Joshua. You have some people that are on board with this movie.
We may have to find something that's a little bit more, I don't know. There were quite a few no's, it sounded. But, okay.
No, there are more yeses than no's. Focus on the positive, Joshua. You can't always focus on the negative. Got to focus on the positive.
True. It's true. I'm terrible at that. Terrible.
All right. Let's see. Lady Phoenix Gray says, so glad I found you this year. You were seriously one of my new favorites to watch. Love you. Thank you. Lady Phoenix Gray was always also, Joshua, the very first of my YouTube members, because I just launched membership on my YouTube channel, and she was the very first member to join.
Oh, very cool. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So Christy wants to know, maybe this is the big question, Joshua, in regards to tomorrow. Will Trump be inaugurated? She wants to know in March for some reason. I don't know why she's asking in March, though.
Will Trump be re-inaugurated for 2021, right?
Yes.
And tell me to stop shuffling?
Stop.
Knight of Wands, Three of Swords, the Empress. So it doesn't look very good. However, something new will be born. But we have Knight, Three of Swords over here. So
you always like to say no to will Trump be inaugurated.
I don't like to say no. I don't want to see Three of Swords and be like, yeah, this could happen. And then I give you false hope. And that's why I don't do that for readings. Like, no, he's not going to marry you. If he's not going to marry you, no, you're not going to get the job. I mean, you don't want anybody to lie and tell you what you want to hear. But you look at these cards. Knight of Wands, he's going to give it, a lot of effort. Three of Swords, which is called sorrow. So how would you interpret this? But then we have the Empress card, which says to me that somebody in 2024, they're already on the case. They're already on the case.
Well, we'll see. Elizabeth said, loved the garbage day scene in second. I don't know what that means. Maybe you know what that means, Joshua.
In second. Okay, I know what you mean. Yes, in the second Silent Night, Deadly Night. I'm pretty sure that's what she means. Yeah, that was a great scene. Yeah. But part one is the best. It's the best.
Well, I promise you will. I will watch this movie if you watch Demolition Man.
Well, that might not be fair. What if Demolition Man's longer than Silent
Demolition Man is the greatest movie that's ever been made.
Okay, well, I get to walk around and stuff. And if I don't like it.
This is going to happen, Joshua. I'm going to fly out to LA and we're going to have a movie night. All right. Dragonwater wants to know, is the United States of America on its way to financial collapse? That's a depressing question, but we're going to do it anyway.
Okay. And say again?
Is the United States on its way to a financial collapse?
And tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
The world, the devil, two of swords. I wouldn't say collapse. I think that I think there's gonna be a little bit of hard times though.
Oh, good. Good. Excellent. That was exactly what I wanted to hear. But Amba says that Josh is really perfect in every way.
Thank you.
Oh, you got that going for you. And Spiraling Monk says the garbage day scene is glorious.
It is. But the best scene is in part 1 in the nursing home with the old guy who like scares the kid. That's the best scene. Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's see. Guys, I don't know that we're going to get to all our super chats because I'm drunk. I'm sorry. I did not manage this show well. It's my fault. I'm sorry, but we're going to get to some of them. Let's see. Elizabeth wants to know, this is actually a good question. It's a question I have too. Will the Supreme Court be packed?
What does that mean?
It means, so packing the court is essentially like if the Democrats control every branch of government, the House of Representatives, the Senate, and the presidency, they can just choose to add more justices to the Supreme Court. So there's like 9 justices right now. It's a 6-3 conservative majority. And they could say, you know what, maybe we just want to add 4 more justices so that we control the majority.
So the Democrats are the only people that could pack the Supreme Court. Is that correct?
Well, as of right now, yeah, because they control the House and probably the presidency. And
okay, so will the Democrats pack the Supreme Court? Is that correct?
Yes.
And do me a favor, tell me to stop shuffling on that.
Stop.
Will the Democrats pack the Supreme Court? Knight of Discs, Strength, the Fool. A little bit of a wild card again with the Fool. I think somebody though who is like in charge there, believe it or not, I think he's a little bit more level-headed than that. So
we should damn well hope so.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a good news anyway.
We've got Fool over here, so in the future, goodness only knows.
If they pack the Supreme Court, that's game over, man. It's going to become like an arms race. I'm not joking. That's like the end of the Republic right there, because it's going to become like an arms race for the Supreme Court. And, oh, that would be a nightmare. Let me see. This is a good question. Dragon Water wants to know, what does the future of YouTube look like for the next year?
That's a very good question. Carlin, will you repeat that for me?
What does the future of YouTube look like for the next year?
Tell me to stop shuffling.
Stop.
Love, 10 of Cups, wealth, good. Woo!
Yeah?
Yeah, it's gonna get better and better. Yeah, I think there's going to be some kind of conglomeration or something, but it's going to be very, very advantageous to the world. And with the 10 of Cups and the 10 of Discs, really good things. Like YouTube's going to get better and better and better.
Yay. Oh, like, that's really good news for me because, you know.
I was going to say, I'm like...
Josh was like, she's not going to be able to pay me anymore if YouTube goes under. That's it.
I'm like, I need more than 600 subscribers. YouTube now.
Well, okay, speaking of YouTube, okay, we are at the top of the hour, so guys, I'm sorry if we didn't get to your super chats, but that's just the way it is. But Joshua does have a YouTube channel, and if you can't get enough of him on this show, you want to make sure to subscribe to his YouTube channel. The information is in the description right down below. Joshua is also available for one-on-one psychic tree in terms of astrological charts, tarot cards, whatever you want to talk about.
I'm much better at dealing with one-on-one people than politics, which is not my field. I don't know anything about politics at all. I'm really about relationships and career. Yeah.
Yes. Joshua is much better at psychicking other things. Fun fact, Joshua, it was almost a year ago that you said to me, Carlin, you need to get better at receiving love from Trump supporters. And I said, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Joshua. But that was what led to me going to the Trump rally. It was almost a year ago.
Oh, that was a year ago.
That was a year ago.
Oh, time flies.
Can you believe that shit? Guys, Joshua, just so you know, like we were having like a one-on-one meeting because Joshua is actually my coach in real life. And he said to me, he was like, who would be like your ideal client? And I don't know what the hell I was thinking, but I said Donald Trump. And all downhill from there, Joshua. The rest is history.
Yeah.
All right, guys. That's all we've got for tonight. If you enjoyed the show, we are on every Tuesday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Most of the time, I'm not drunk, but apparently people really like me being drunk, so this might become a thing for you, Joshua, which would be more fun for you than it is for me. If you're in DC, stay safe. Be careful. Do not wear your Trump shit out alone, please. Like, I'm going to be out tomorrow, so if you are in the DC area and you see me, come up and say hi. I would love to meet you guys. If you're not in DC, well, nuts for you. It's going to be awesome. You should have come. But thank you guys for hanging out with us, and I guess we'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.